assure you that we're open, shoe polish on our signs, cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew, you know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bring in all the big guns when we coming through. Welcome to the stage. Come on, enjoy the taste. Hurry up, don't come and last. You know we love it, the sacred thing.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode. We are back and live from the Secret Stash. I am one of 3 hosts, Christian Cortez, joined always by
Michael Zapsik, and to my right, the beautiful and lovely and talented and
awesome,
fantastic
Julia Zapsik. Hi, everybody.
There you are.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Oh my gosh, we're
Been
still
like what, 6-7 years since we've been.
Yeah. It's been a minute.
It feels like that long. I am still stuffed. So Michael and I went out. So every industry has its big conferences where all the professionals get together and they chit chat about what's new and what's great and what's coming and
all the awesome.
all the awesome.
Went to a convention.
So we went to it, and in our industry, it's the Diamond Retailer Summit.
That's one of our things. So yeah.
But this is it's the only, like, there are a lot of things to do, but in terms of retailer summits, like focused completely on the retail business.
This
right?
is like one
exactly
of this
right.
is like
Right.
the biggest
Okay.
one for you.
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, listen, a lot of the same people we saw out in fact, it was in Dallas, Texas this year. In Dallas are going to be out at San Diego Comic-Con, but that's like a different aspect of the business. I'm talking like nuts, like dumb behind the scenes stuff, like Pullbox, like previous Pullbox, which we instituted this year because of what we learned in October. Online, join us, make us your local comic book store. But seriously, it is pretty damn cool. So like you learn about stuff that you need to run your store and do your business. And, you chit chat about Free Comic Book Day. There was a huge discussion about what that should look like in the future. Do they need to rebrand? So it's like the boring behind the scenes stuff, not boring to us, but boring to anybody else.
I don't find that boring. I mean, I can understand how that could come across as it.
Yeah.
But just at the mention of rebranding Free Comic Book Day, like, what does that discussion look like?
I mean, just that everyone around the table's like, it sucks. It's boring. It looks like the old Comics Authority code, and it's just
Well, talking about the logo.
The logo, yeah. And everything that, exactly. All the brand assets.
You made it sound like Free Comic Book Day just sucked across. Like Free Comic Book Day sucks.
No. Everyone
That's why I'm
agrees.
saying the logo.
Everyone agrees that Free Comic Book Day rocks. It's just
this logo blows.
Yeah, the logo sucks because it's just like Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
There's no pizzazz.
There's no pizzazz to it. Yeah. I mean, if you and so there was a discussion about that. There was a little discussion about how some comic book retailers might be able to take advantage of like local conventions. We were kind of interested, but not too much about that. But then there was a great panel discussion and a workshop about something called, for folks who collect the Overstreet Guide. Right. Mm-hmm. So it used to be only in print. Now you can set up an account online. And for the Stash and for other retailers, what's cool about it is, so say you have a run, right? Give me a run. Give me a Green Lantern run. 1 through 87. But you're missing issues 15, 47, and 59, right? And then you would have your run complete. Well, with Overstreet, we can enter all of our collections online. And if someone is looking for certain issues, or even a full run, you could buy the whole run, but you could also fill gaps. It
almost, yeah.
Yeah, but it's an online matchmaking service. So you're looking for something, we have what you need. Contact us
rather than go through eBay.
So Tinder for comic book collectors. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of. So
without the dating part,
and it has a couple of other features. So we're that was
sticking our toes
a brand
in the
new
water.
thing.
Yeah.
So we signed up for it. We're kind of doing we like to do a lot of behind the scenes testing so that if we roll something out, it actually works.
It's flawless.
Yeah. I mean, nothing is flawless when you're talking about technology, but you try to get as close as possible. So by doing your due diligence, but we had a great time. I mean, a lot of people there. You just meet some awesome people from all over the country. All doing the same thing we're doing, trying to keep the community together, loving stories. Embracing what's new and supporting each other. So that was pretty cool. We got there the first night. We went out to one of the most famous steakhouses in Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And
called the Pappas Brothers.
the Pappas
And
Brothers. Yes.
we went into this place,
Mhm.
and it was like a giant complex, and the Pappas had their thumbprints on everything.
Mhm.
Pappas Brothers. There was Pappas Brothers barbecue.
Mhm.
There was
Seafood.
Papasitas Mexican
Oh,
food.
so
And
you-
yeah, Mexican.
So you walk into the concourse and it's like, what do you want?
No, we drive in.
What?
You drive into
Oh,
the concourse,
okay.
and it's like it is a sprawl.
Oh.
They
like-
basically bought like any plaza, but
Like
it was all
around-
Pappas. It was you could go to Pappas Seafood, Pappas
So
Barbecue,
good.
Pappas Mexican,
Oh.
Like
Pappas Italian,
Oh my
Pappas
god!
Steakhouse.
Yeah, like Papadel's.
So they
That was
just
pretty
they were
cool.
just like, you want food here.
Here, yeah, you
Then
could.
just
We
see-
got it all.
Here's the whole selection.
Yeah, it's an underground thing, and they've got like one dude down there with like he's probably one of those aliens with like 18 arms, and he's like just throwing shit.
It's
onto
the fucking
conveyor
Well, we
Men
know
in
the
Black
UFO
male
Yeah.
scene
We know
that
that
he's cooking.
UFOs are real now,
Yeah,
so
we do,
that's
so-
that's cool. Anyway, we had
What you mean by that?
we had this incredible.
Oh,
well,
no, come
we'll,
on, man.
we'll get there. So we had this incredible
knew.
bone-in porterhouse, right?
Ribeye.
Bone-in ribeye steak. But it made me so happy because the guy comes over. What was his name?
His name was Adam.
Adam. So Adam comes over. Very nice guy. Thank you, Adam, from Papa's Steakhouse.
Pappas
And
Brothers.
Pappas Brothers Steakhouse. So he comes in and he takes our order and he looks at me and he's got that smile on his face, like he's like, like the smile when you're bracing yourself for something. He goes, and how would Madam like her steak cooked? And I looked at him and I said, and he's like this. And I said, Adam, I said, let's be real. I'm in Texas at one of the most famous steakhouses in Texas. I said, so you're going to cook the steak the way it's meant to be cooked, right? You're going to bring it to me blue. And he his whole face just started to smile. He's like, absolutely. And he looked at Michael. Michael's like, same for me. So yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
had this absolutely gorgeous. I mean,
Oh
it was
my
so
God.
big. It was
Oh,
like a fucking
man.
Flintstone steak.
Yeah, it was
We
delicious.
Just
actually-
tipped your car
We
over.
actually brought it. It almost did. We actually
I was
brought it back to the hotel, put it in the mini
we
fridge,
couldn't
and
put it in the mini fridge.
ate it for breakfast the next morning. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
we had
sitting
to,
out
like,
there on
angle-
the.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we had like a little. It was cute. Hotel was really nice. We had like a little porch area we could sit out there. Oh damn! It was
delicious.
so
Oh my
good.
God.
It was so
We
good.
had-
Yes.
We got
That sounds amazing.
we got the cream spinach. We got you got some sides.
Yeah.
So we got au gratin potatoes with. I swear to God, they put 1.5 pounds of bacon in with the potatoes and the cheese, and they 14 pounds of cheese,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had the cream spinach,
Mm-hmm.
and they put strips of ham into the cream spinach.
Yeah, I think ham.
I was like,
in
holy
everything.
shit.
Ham and
They,
pancetta.
they did
yeah.
everything. I'm
Mhm.
like, if you
should-
wanted
you
something,
should see the scene I'm picturing in my head right now, man.
my God.
Oh, it
It's
was
set
it
to
was,
Who Can Take a Sunrise.
Oh my God,
Like,
it
it was,
was.
it was
beautiful.
sick. It was sick. It
and
was
we
a
went.
beautiful thing.
We had starters. She had the Caesar salad,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a bowl of.
Oh,
Turtle
yes.
gumbo.
Yes, you did.
Turtle gumbo.
Turtle
Yes,
gumbo.
sir.
It was quite
Oh my
tasty.
God, it was delicious.
Yes, it
With
might have been
collard
roadkill,
greens.
but it was still
Might
very
have been- I
tasty.
could give it. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm driving down that road a lot. If
Dallas
that's the roadkill.
is not a lovely
Oh,
city.
man.
You know, I don't think so. Not for me. I didn't think it was quite. I didn't think it was. Very
I
lovely.
enjoyed,
He
it. I was
it.
driving,
He enjoyed
so
it.
I
Yes, he was. He drove around like a pro.
And they have. It's so fucked up because you're driving, and then there's like, if you're in the right lane, it exits, and if you don't exit, fuck you. You're gonna exit,
It's
You're
like the
gonna exit,
Beltway.
or you're
for,
gonna die.
for anyone who lived and worked around Washington
God.
D.C., you know the Beltway was the same thing on the Beltway, right? You go around. If you miss your exit, it's like fuck you. Go around again and don't miss it this time. So that was
I
kind of
didn't
the way
miss
it was.
ever. Well, once because they
That
were
was kind of the way it
talking.
was. But we
And
visited a couple
You
of
miss
local
it and you
comic book
die.
shops,
we
which
did.
was nice.
It was very nice.
Because you have to get a little bit of the local
Mhm.
flavor. We're chatting it up with some of the locals there.
We went there with Scott Hoverman,
Oh, cool.
Yes,
Scott
we
and
did.
his daughter Krista. So shout out to Scott and Krista.
3 Alarm
Yeah,
Comics.
3
down in
Alarm Comics
Mississippi.
down
Yeah,
Biloxi, Mississippi,
exactly.
and we ended
Nice.
up going to the. We took him out to the
We went to
Arboretum.
Zeus. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were talking about comic book shops. So,
No, we
yes.
went to I wasn't
Mhm.
gonna shout out those comic book shops other than 3 Alarm Comics. You bet. No, I'm kidding. They were fun. They were good. It was Zeus Comics, and what was the other
Black
place?
Cat Comics.
Black Cat Comics. That was
Mhm.
actually
That's a
pretty
cool ass name.
Black
Oh,
Cat Comics
Black Cat
was
Comics was
across
awesome.
the street from the Alamo Draft House.
Ooh.
We were at the Alamo Draft House.
Oh, I love Alamo
And
Draft
the
House.
original Alamo Draft House.
Oh,
down
the
in Dallas.
first?
Yeah, down in Dallas.
Oh.
Unless there was one in actually the Alamo. Got me on that one. No, I think
Heard.
it was, and the Esparza brothers. Shout out to them. If you ever saw the zombie paintings of Ming, me, Brian, Walt,
Yeah.
and Q, they did that. The Esparza brothers. So God bless you guys.
Nice.
Saw Michael.
They did a nice
Yeah,
job.
they did a great job.
You know what? We could offer a panel for these guys next year. How podcasting can benefit your business
Ooh.
Yeah.
at any local comic book shop, and it's an excuse for me to go down to Dallas,
Hell,
Texas,
that'd be great.
and try out.
Well,
all
it's not
this.
always in Dallas. The summit moves, so I
Ah.
think the next and it moves. It's kind of like Movable Feast. It's at different times of the year too. For instance, the next one they're having is in February of next year in Florida.
Mhm.
So it
Ah.
moves around. Yeah, it moves
Can't do it.
Yeah.
I refuse to step foot in Florida anymore.
Well,
I feel like if I cross the state line, just something's gonna happen.
Really?
something's going to happen.
Something. I
Like
get struck by lightning. I get bit by a gator. I get
Okay.
turned into Florida Man. Something's gonna
Oh
happen.
man, that would suck.
I
That
come
would-
back
yeah.
with Florida-related powers.
Oh Jesus, your face is chewed off by some guy who's on bath salts.
I'm the new Toxic
There you
Avenger.
go, attaboy.
That was awesome though. And then Friday before we left, we were able to actually it was kind of sweet
Oh,
because
wait a minute. I wanted to say that they stayed at the Lorenzo Hotel. Does that sound familiar
Scott
to you?
and Krista did
Scott and
from
Krista
Three
did.
Alarm. Yeah.
No, the
The
Lorenzo.
Lorenzo is where Tina Turner went after she left Ike, and they hit her there.
That's right. And
I mean,
It's
not
a
like
very. It looks really, really cool. It's a
Oh,
boutique hotel with like every floor, every room is done like by a different artist. So so it's like it's like really cool.
everything's for sale
Yeah, it was very
or
very
for stealing. I don't know.
for sale or for stealing.
for however you deem to.
Yeah.
But it was
acquire.
kind of sweet because as we were going through, because we were there a couple days before for the Diamond Conference, but about halfway through the second day, we're walking down and we see this big sign. It's like Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. I'm like, oh my god, I know those people. So I'm like taking pictures. Michael's sending them to Kevin. It's like, Bob's
Kevin's
there,
like, you're in Dallas. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He knew we were
yeah,
going to the conference, but I guess it didn't connect
didn't,
that we
like,
were going to
yeah.
be in Dallas. So it was funny because we were watching them set up for Fan Expo Dallas, and we did go in for about 40 minutes before
Oh
we
my
had to leave and
God.
catch our flight to go back
There were
out.
like 10,000 people in there already. It felt like.
Oh my
But
gosh!
went up. We saw
yeah.
the Source
I heard
Point
it was
Press people.
kind of squishy. It was
It was
squished.
Yeah.
Very
That'll
small
happen.
aisles. yeah, I
that
heard.
always happens because you.
10,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, say
Yeah,
less.
it was
That's
it was
insane.
packed. It was packed.
But we saw our man Garrett Gunn over at Source Point.
we did.
Well,
Yep.
Shout out to Garrett. So
Yep.
he's pretty
And
awesome.
Josh
too.
Werner was there too.
Josh
We got to say
Werner,
hi to
yep.
Josh. So yep.
Who also did a signing here.
Nice.
Mhm.
So
Mhm. We ran
yeah, it
into
was
some
fun.
really awesome fans. I mean,
oh my God, yeah.
it's such a joy to see their joy. Like, you're walking and that's what that's one of the things you think about. You try not to take the beautiful things in your life for granted. I walk in here every day. I try not to take it for granted when I'm working on projects, trying to take it for granted. But then you get out there and you realize that as hard as you work not to take it for granted, you kind of still do because you meet people and you're talking about Jay and Silent Bob's Secret Stash and the impact of Kevin and Jay's careers on their lives. And you get to see it all over again, like that joy, that unbounded enthusiasm.
I don't think you can ever
So-
like keep it foremost in your mind. Like, oh my God.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
part
because
of
if
something
you're
really
if you're
incredible.
like trying to fucking figure out why this damn item won't load in
I
your,
know,
it's like in your thing, right? You get caught
PC
up
load letter, fuck you.
in
Yeah.
like regular life stuff, but that's always amazing. And so thank you everyone who stopped to say hi and share some of your enthusiasm. Because man, I turned to him a couple times as we were waiting to get in. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, now I know why I don't do this. I can't fucking do this. There's too many fucking people. It's too loud. There's too much going on. I'm like, I want to get the fuck out of here. And he's like, just give us like
Chill.
5 minutes.
He became you for a
They're
second.
like two people.
know.
Yeah, exactly. Like
you
two
leave Jersey
people,
and you switch.
I know.
two
It
people we
became
want to
Freaky
see.
Friday.
Yeah, right.
So it's like you finally push
Can I-
through and get in
wait a
there,
minute,
and I'm
am
like,
I
oh
Lindsay?
my god. So yes,
I'd rather be Jamie Lee.
Yeah, you're-
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
thank you for the fans who came up and said hi and kind of gave me a chance to like refocus away from it's loud, it's crowded, I hate this to this is cool. This
It's
is
also
cool.
Texas heat.
So.
I bet it was hot.
It was.
Oh
it was a dry
no!
heat.
It was outside, yeah, but inside was cold. You know how
Oh,
they always
nice.
crank up the air conditioning to some ridiculous degree. So
Sounds like my kind of place. I love
Oh,
it.
it's
Yeah.
actually awesome. So
I
because
love
you
it.
can do both. You can go out in the heat and just be like, I'm done, and then come back in and be like, I'm fucking freezing.
Like-
Now we were gone, but we were getting pictures from
Oh my God, yeah.
folks out here because while
The
we were
smoke.
gone, that smoke
Yeah.
from Canada was coming down, looking very apocalyptic, right?
You
So-
should have seen Main Street in the Highlands.
Oh man!
So you walk out of the doors of Smog Castle Cinemas, I couldn't see Julio's.
Holy God!
Wow!
Yeah, like it was that bad.
Wow.
It was horrendous. Like my mom was like, I need you to go to the store and buy like 2 air purifiers for the house. I was like, okay, no problem. So then after all that smoke cleared up, I went and changed the filter and it was orange.
Oh,
Oh,
God!
I was like, oh God,
Yeah,
this
I
was
bet.
bad. So it was crazy. Blade Runner 2049 is not all it's cracked up to
Yeah.
be, people.
No.
So yeah, no, that was
Yeah, we were
insane.
feeling for you guys back here. We're like, holy crap! Like we kept getting pictures. We're like, this can't be for real. But yeah, it
No,
was
Daniel
for
was
real.
sending our youngest was sending us pictures. Like, thanks a lot. Okay.
Thanks for
Yeah.
ditching us. Oh my God! Speaking of of Texas, and I'm only bringing this up because you guys were in Dallas.
Yeah.
There's a company that is based out of Dallas, who I just completed some work for.
Nice.
And they
I
just
thought we were gonna
dropped,
kiss some ass. All right.
that they just dropped some videos for. A couple of months ago, I had the awesome opportunity to write some songs for Chuck E. Cheese, and the
Yes.
last song
Very
I
cool.
did just dropped.
Yeah.
And it was such a cool experience because I went to go find the video of the song, and then next to it was one of the robots in the studio actually performing, and I was like, no fucking
Oh,
way.
that's awesome! Can you
So yeah, I'll share it. It's the coolest shit in the
please
world.
do? I want to
And
see it. Yeah.
it's the end. I hope it's not the last time I get to do it, but it was so cool to leave like a little bit of an imprint on like a legacy that I loved going
That's
to as a kid.
Pretty awesome. And,
So-
and I loved going to as like a 30-year-old when the boys were
Oh,
young,
yeah.
and I'm like, I love their pizza, even though it's
I have the
recycled pizza.
I have very distinctive musical memories of Chuck E. Cheese because my dad would bring us there to not only let me and my cousins and my brother and sister entertain ourselves, but sometimes he would just be in the corner table with his little vinyl record set up listening to music. So sometimes when I would get too tired, I'd come over to the table, be like, what you listening to?
Aw.
Put the headphones on, be
Aw.
some Bill Withers or something.
Oh,
and I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
oh, this is so cool. And I'm just sitting there listening to this and in this sprawling fucking arcade. And I'm like, this is awesome.
Mhm.
This is a vibe. So I've always had a very
That is a
awesome
cool story.
connection to Chuck E. Cheese. And it's
Damn.
really funny when I told the guy, because I did the whole assignment
Right?
without telling him who my dad was. And then when he found out, he was like, are you kidding me? You didn't lead with that?
You
I was like,
son of a
no.
bitch.
I was like, no, I didn't lead with that. I'm my own man, damn it. But like he was
That's
he
cool,
was
though.
just very impressed. He was like, dude, these songs slap. Like I hope I get to do it again. But yeah.
But that's sweet for a couple of different reasons. It must be nice to meet people who were so positively impacted by your dad's music and his legacy and are still feel the same way. But God, that's got to be awesome for you to like be
It is
demonstrating that passion, that talent, that legacy has been passed on. Right?
in a weird way, yeah. And it's not something where we were just talking about taking things for granted, where it's like
Mhm.
when things like that happen, I have to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture. And I'm just like, whoa. Like I'm very lucky, but at the same time, I worked very hard to get where I'm at.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
If you would have told me 5 years ago that this is what I would be doing, I would have laughed in your face.
Mhm.
Like I love what I do. And when things like that happen, it just is like it reaffirms it for me that yes, I'm in the right business. I know what I'm doing is right.
Mhm.
So that was just that was a cool
That's
little thing
great.
that happened. But it was funny because it was like, oh, you guys are in Dallas, and they were like, well, Christian, if you're ever in Dallas, come through and fucking hang out. And I was like, well, don't threaten me with a good time. So
Let me ask you a question, and this
Sure.
is something that just occurred to me. But how does it feel to be walking on the path that your father walked? You're not following in his footsteps as much as you're blazing your own trail, but you're like walking alongside his route. Does that? I mean, that's got to be like so sweet, and just be like, holy crap! And if you stop and you think about it, it might overwhelm you a little bit. So if you need a moment,
no, I'm not overwhelmed.
I
We're
got you.
good.
No,
my head's not exploding right
all right.
now, folks. We're
no,
good.
it's just
No,
one of
no,
those
no.
things that you're like, oh my God, this is really pretty goddamn cool.
It to an extent, I do think about it like that sometimes, but then I also have to take a step back because my dad also succeeded at a way younger age than I realized. Like he popped off when he was 21. And then just the rest of his life was just dedicated to making music and raising us.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I'll tell you what blew my mind when I found out when my dad had me, he was 25. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Because I remember turning 25 when I found that out, and I was just like,
"Wow, I got to get busy."
Yeah, exactly. I was like, "What am I doing wrong?" But then I was like, "Not a damn thing." Exactly. I was like, "I'm blazing my path in a different way and building my own following and
damn straight
having fun doing it." He did it with music. I'm doing it with film and songs and stuff like that, and it is interesting to look at it that way.
Yeah, you're walking a parallel path. You're walking. You can look over and see where your dad was when he was your age.
Big time.
And it doesn't matter that he was younger than you. So what?
No. I find that interesting because it's like, whoa.
We all develop at different ages. One of my brother's best friends who we ran into not too long ago, he looked at me, he said, "Holy shit." He's like, when you were, because he's known me since I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I always knew you were going to be a late bloomer. He's like, I always knew that you were going to have fun and you were going to do stuff. He's like, but I also knew that when you found out what it was you were supposed to be doing. For me. Yeah. He said, when you find that, that's when you're going to be successful and that's when you're going to come into your own. It's like, you've always been, you're always the quirky, funny, charming young man. But now look at you. It was Tim. So.
Tim
Dumbro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So he's like, now you're.
And you gotta realize
everyone's like
it's
Tim
like,
Dumbro,
oh shit, you're
family friend.
You realize like he was right? Because at what age did you realize like, oh, I love me some cooking?
I love to cook, but I didn't like to cook professionally. I like to cook to show off. See, there's the difference.
Yes.
Because when I graduated from the Culinary Institute of America, there were no celebrity chefs. Wasn't even a thing. The closest we had was Paul Prudhomme, Julia Child, and what's his name?
What's the BAM guy?
Oh, that's Emeril Lagasse. He was like 3 years after I graduated.
Okay.
He didn't start doing the BAM until Julia Child was huge. Paul Prudhomme was the Cajun chef, and he was that big guy.
Vincent Price.
Vincent Price wasn't a chef. He was awesome, but he wasn't. He was a gourmand.
Didn't he have a cookbook though?
He did.
He did. I have his cookbook. Yeah.
Very famous.
And Justin, whatever the hell his name is, not Justin Long, but Justin something. He was the Cajun cook, and the Frugal Gourmet. Graham Kerr. Those were the only ones. But I mean, the not the Frugal, the Galloping Gourmet, because Jeff Smith was the Frugal Gourmet. So there were like 5 people that you could point to and say, that guy's a celebrity chef. Now it's like, can't swing a dead cat without hitting a celebrity chef.
Mm-hmm.
Such a very specific thing to say about a celebrity
swinging
chef.
dead cats?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a southern thing, actually. Yes.
No, but
that dead cat?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Because
I always said.
It's a colloquialism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know it was region specific.
Swinging the dead cat, let go. Ah! Oh, shit. Hey, Gordon Ramsay.
That sounds about right.
Because he was just in Jersey, apparently, roasting somebody's restaurant because he brought back kitchen nightmares.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Lovely. Well, I have no problem with it. But that's, if I could like combine everything, I would have loved to have been, a celebrity chef because, cooking on camera, no biggie. Yeah. I've done it before. It's not that.
Were you ever afforded the opportunity on Comic Book Men?
No. Well, sort of, yes. When we did the sandwich, Secret Stash sandwich.
That's right. Yeah. That was next door, right?
That way.
It's
no longer there.
Your sandwich was the best.
My sandwich was the best because they put, and they weren't even trying. So
I'll never forget that deli because one of the first times I
Tom Fishman, ladies, shout out to Tom Fishman.
One of the first times I ever like hung out with Kev and his mom was in town.
Gotcha. I thought you were gonna say first time I ever got food poisoning.
Oh God, no. But he was escorting his mom it wasn't his mom. Some elderly woman had come in to the stash and was looking for the restaurant, and Kevin just escorted her down the street. Kevin goes, Christian security. So I just walked behind them because I had a security shirt on, and I was as equally big as I am now.
Excellent.
So it was like,
good.
all right. So if you need a bodyguard for hire, I'm in. There you go.
You heard him.
But no, I feel honored with the legacy that I've been gifted.
Following in people's footsteps. There is something. I mean, listen.
Sometimes I don't envy it.
Sometimes, well, and sometimes you don't want to follow in your parents' or footsteps because they were walking in shit. But
I think that applies to like all facets, though. It's not just like parents and stuff like that. Like, even if we joke about it, look at what James Gunn inherited after the whole regime before him and what he had to fix moving forward.
Oh, he's still fixing it. It's not gonna.
That's true. But I mean, just talking about like following in your family's footsteps. Yeah. I'm even thinking in our family or in your family. I mean, our family, but your side of the family.
Mine? Okay.
Pop, Michael's father, had 6 sons, none of whom went into the medical profession because just none of them ended up in the medical profession. Pop was a general practitioner for 49 years in the area, but he has a granddaughter who is now a doctor. She's an MD. She's doing, I think, her second, I don't know what they call it, post doc or something, or fellowship or something like that. She's going to do emergency medicine and disaster medicine. We were talking to her yesterday, and there's like she's got a special place in the family because of all the kids and the grandkids. She's the only one who kind of picked up that baton and carried it forward in that way.
Saving lives.
So so it is like, it's pretty badass. So, yeah. And I'm purposely weaving this because we wanted to make sure that we don't forget to remember the passing of
John Romita Sr., which is awesome, which is a great segue because his son, who followed in his footsteps,
it's not
John
a great
Romita
segue,
Jr.
but it's a great segue.
It is, I know, and it's not. I wish we didn't have to, but rest in peace, John Romita Sr. He was the quintessential Spider-Man artist.
And he was so like any signature Spider-Man or piece I could probably think of, it's probably him.
Either Ditko or John Romita Sr. And he was so influential in so many creators' lives, like Alex Ross. Oh my God, Alex Ross. I can go on and on.
How long had he worked at Marvel, John?
My God.
Was he still with them up until?
I think he was doing freelance stuff for him for a long time, up until probably right before his death. Wow. But now, he was amazing.
Is John Romita Sr.'s style and his son John Romita Jr.'s style very different? Do they share a lot of things similar?
No, but they both. If you take a look at that's his son's Spider-Man. Wow. And if I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I can share it.
Share that one. That's John Romita Jr. And then we do John Romita Sr.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can find like a side by side.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But that's awesome.
So who are some of the contemporaries of John Romita Sr.?
Yeah. Jack Kirby.
Okay.
Neil Adams.
So he was really foundational in a lot of ways.
Ross Andrew.
Okay.
He helped create your boy, Logan Wolverine.
Okay.
He was co-creator of Wolverine. Instrumental in Spider-Man. Right after Steve Ditko left, John Romita Sr. came in and just made Spider-Man his own. And if you look at Ditko, was very angular, and it was he had that creepy Spider-Man look, like everything was angles. But then you had John Romita Sr. come in,
drew that,
and he drew so many images that are iconic. The costume in the garbage can, Spider-Man running on the side of a building, like sideways. That him swinging from a web like this.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, this one is one of the most iconic.
This one,
that one. If we can share that,
we're sharing.
Beautiful. That one is one of the most iconic images of Spider-Man ever, and that was all him.
My favorite hero growing up, always. Like when the first movie came out,
that's also amazing.
Are we sharing all these? People
Yes.
can see them. That's fantastic.
When the first Spider-Man movie came out, at the time my family was friends with someone who worked in Circus Olay. His name was John Francois, and he came over to my house to like talk with my dad. They were working on something, and I'm geeking over Spider-Man. He's like, "Hey, Christian," I'm like, "What? You want to be Spider-Man?" I was like, "What do you mean, John?" He's like, "You want to be Spider-Man?" Yes. Grabs me and just holds me while I pretend to climb on the walls.
Oh, that's
And I'm just like,
awesome.
now, mind you, and then I'm like, "John, put me down." He's like, "Why? What's wrong?" He's like, "I have the web shooter." So I went and grabbed it, and he proceeded to let me crawl on the wall, and I would still be like,
Oh man,
That is awesome.
that's badass.
So, John Francois, thank you for creating a pivotal moment in my
In
childhood.
your childhood. That's great.
That is why I'm biased. Like anytime there's something Spider-Man, I'm like, yes.
Now, what's his son currently working on? or
John
doing?
Romita
Yeah.
Jr. is doing Spider-Man.
Oh wow,
Yes,
he's currently
still
on,
doing
okay.
Spider-Man. He's
Gotcha.
amazing. I mean, I keep using that adjective, amazing. He's the amazing Spider-Man guy. But I mean, it runs in the family. So
Yeah.
talk about a legacy. And yeah,
That is wild.
this is fantastique.
They both equally draw that character with the gravitas
He deserves.
that he deserves. Oh my God, that's John Romita Jr.
Yeah,
That's beautiful.
I love that piece.
hmm
Oh, that's so
I know what I'm getting you for Christmas.
cool. That's so dope.
A screenshot of
A
that.
screenshot.
A screenshot of that. You know what? Not even a screenshot of that. A screenshot of me looking at that screenshot.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I
On
just
a
took a
big
picture.
poster
Just
signed
took
by
a
you
picture.
and Joel.
There you go.
Should totally do that.
Oh,
That is
man.
so funny.
Mike, do you want to do your top five?
Let's do top five.
Let's do it. All right, Mike, what you got?
All right, since this is our live-ish,
Live-ish.
we're live-ish. So we're doing this because I'm going on a brothers retreat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, me and my 5 brothers are gonna go and hang out.
The Zap reunion?
The Zap Bros.
The Zap Boys
This
reunion?
is the first time that we're doing this since we were kids.
No way.
Swear to God, we've been together.
Is it just
Oh, yeah.
you guys? Or are you
Just
bringing-
us.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Just the boys.
just the
Just
boys.
the
So,
boys.
I haven't read all these, but these are amongst my favorites. If there's any by Odin's Fade in here,
You let us know
yeah,
immediately.
you let us know and I will exit out. But Ultimate Invasion, this is by Jonathan Hickman with art by Brian Hitch. So, and we're gonna see more of Brian Hitch this week. But I love this. I love the fact that we've got the Ultimate Universe crossing over with 616. So we're going to see what happens. We already had it with Miles Morales, but now we're going to have it with the rest of the Ultimate Universe.
Sweet.
Yes. Next up is a little independent title called Punchline and the Vaudevillians #2. I just loved the name of this, Punchline and the Vaudevillains.
Yeah, Vaudevillian.
Yeah,
Wait,
Vaudevillains.
Yeah, you
Not the Vaudevillians.
Vaudevillians.
No, it's
Damn.
the Vaudevillains, which I love. These guys are,
I don't mind Vaudevillians. Like, I know it's villains, but
I
like,
know, Vaudevillains, though, but that's
dope.
just such a cool.
And yeah, and you pointed out to me that an artist that I really dig is the artist on this one.
Yes.
what's the plot of this
Ted
book?
Sikora. Here we
Mhm.
go. How do we put this? Like this. We put it like this. Nikki St. Clair is a theater veteran who, while playing the tap dance killer in a horror show musical, was dosed with a mysterious substance that locked her and her castmates into the headspace of their respective villainous characters. They waged war with and defeated the Romero mob. The
What?
Romero mob.
Wait a bit. Wait, what? That sounds awesome.
This dude's the leader of the Vaudevillains. Vincent Reed, he's Sir Terror. Klaus Miragold was cast as the character Fletcher, who animates the dead.
Mm.
His real-life experiments have led to the enhancements of Drayton Hayes and Elizabeth Hale. Uzi Clown is the Vaudevillains' weapon specialist. He never breaks his cartoon character voice. Oh, hi everybody! Don't you know clowns can get away
Oh,
with
God.
murder?
I just saw one of those panels, and
I'm telling you, and the
No,
art is
camera, so
amazing.
yes.
And you know what? Good on you,
What comic line is this?
Ted Sikora. This is from Hero Tomorrow.
Here Tomorrow Comics.
Hero today, Hero tomorrow.
Okay,
See?
yeah. All right. I can
So
dig it.
I mean, I was excited when I saw this that it was coming back out because the first one came out well over a year ago.
Okay.
So I was like, that's pretty badass. All right, so next up is Nightwing.
your boy.
My boy Dickie Grayson is this is Nightwing 105, and I love they take pardon me. They take chances with this book. They artistically do unique things with the look of the book. This is all it's drawn from Nightwing's point of view.
Oh, that's cool.
That is cool.
And before, if you spread it out,
Nightwing.
there was one issue. God, it was in the Get Grayson.
Line.
Well, the Get Grayson story arc.
Story arc.
That it was, if you put it side by side, it's like one
like panoramic.
Yeah, one panoramic
Oh, cool.
thing. So it's like
Oh.
That's
40
very
feet
cool.
of story.
You know, it was really cute, Christian. A little aside before you finish the rest of your books. So, if anyone happened to be on our social media, you may have seen us posting some pictures of Dan DiDio and his wife, who came in, and they just stopped by. They were in the area and they stopped by. Dan needed,
Say hello.
formerly executive editor at DC Comics and did a bunch of other things now, in partnership with Frank Miller. They're doing Frank Miller Presents, publishing house. And so it's like all of a sudden you turn around, you're like, oh crap, that's Dan DiDio. And so he and his wife were here. And I see Michael huddled with him in the corner, and I'm like wondering, I wonder what's going on there. So later Michael tells me, and by the way, both of them just like absolutely phenomenal people. They spent a lot of time here, and we had such a great time talking to both of them. But Michael tells me later, I just had to let Dan know how much I was grateful that he did not, in fact, kill Nightwing, because I guess there was a period of time that like that was on the table, and I'm like, are you sure you were thanking him or threatening him? Like, don't get back in the game.
A little
and kill
bit of
off
both.
my guy.
Let's be real
Yeah,
here.
Exactly.
Dan's actually.
You don't know
a
how
nice
close
guy.
you came, Dan.
How long ago was that where that was on the table?
Infinite Crisis.
Infinite Crisis.
Yeah,
Okay.
he almost killed off Nightwing, but turned out that it was Kid Flash, and
Yeah, but you know nobody stays dead in comic books.
they
do
didn't stay dead. So Kid Flash and Superboy are back.
Well,
Connor Kent.
There you go.
Not Jonathan Kent. Next up is Scarlet Witch Annual Numero Uno. This is the beginning of the Contest of Chaos. And Wanda has absorbed the book of the Darkhold.
Wanda
boy.
and Chaos go hand in hand.
Well, she is the chief mistress of chaos magic. So
Mhm.
the Darkhold is something that she's been a part of. She originally, because she was born on Wundagore Mountain, the demon Sithon imprinted her with the ability to use magic. Otherwise, she would have just been an energy manipulating mutant.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't have reality altering powers. It altered her
Because in the comics, she's still Magneto's daughter, correct?
no,
Not in this one.
I
Not
don't
in
know.
this one.
In the comics, they don't know if she is or not, and it's just
Okay.
it's so.
But
wacky.
that must be new because
It was.
she and Pietro were his children, his
Yes.
twins, for a long,
my God, yes.
Yeah, so
And,
that must be.
Go back and go, old timers. Go into your long boxes. Get Uncanny X-Men 125 and
Surprise.
Avengers 186, and you can put together the pieces that they.
that have been laid
Yeah.
out.
So Magda, who was her mother,
Mhm.
was Magneto's wife.
Oh, okay.
So,
But in this particular book series, it's not necessarily in the story yet. I just was curious.
as a matter of fact, if you watch Multiverse of Madness, Doctor Strange,
Mhm.
and the Illuminati.
Yes.
They were like, "Don't worry, we can take care of Wanda," because they knew of Wanda and they knew that Wanda was she was
Well, that was a lie.
she was an
I was gonna say-
she was an energy manipulating mutant, but she wasn't
To the version that they know.
yeah, exactly. When Dreamwalking Wanda went in there, she came with all the potential power that
They don't know.
No,
they don't know baby
shit.
hungry.
they don't know shit.
Wanda.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say that didn't work out for them so
No,
well.
baby
did it?
mama Wanda
Yeah.
is coming through, and that sounds
Baby
horrible.
mama Wanda. Oh,
yeah,
God.
that does sound horrible.
That
doesn't it?
did sound bad, but
But it
it's
sounds
okay.
great. It actually sounds so bad. It sounds
There's been
great.
a couple of. I mean, is this? I guess this is really. It's a thing because
shit.
it reminded me when I was rewatching that movie. I thought of Fringe, right? Fringe
Uh-huh.
is a TV show, not a
About
movie.
multiverse, yeah.
But it is about multiverses, and it is also about a parent who is so obsessed with saving their child that they commit like these absolutely horrific
yeah,
atrocities in order to bring their child back or to be reunited with their children. And I mean, as a parent, I can certainly
Daniel's
I can-
watching very
I mean,
closely right now.
I
He's
guess-
He's like, "Mom."
well, I guess what I'm trying to say is it's
Yeah.
got to be an
Am I from another
atavistic
universe?
like fear or
course.
drive, because that's just two examples. I'm sure if I weren't so dead tired, I could probably think of a dozen more stories where you have similar situations, parents who cannot accept the fact that they've lost children, going to extraordinary lengths, even like at risking the death of the entire universe just to be reunited or just to have one more moment.
But Wanda
Wanda
did have her moment, and she found out later on that her children are still alive in 616. in the
Yeah, and
comics.
another.
Different forms, and they're older, but
Mhm.
they're still alive, and they're still imprinted with hers and the Visions. I don't know if it's their.
Magic in A.
They're-
I don't know. I would never use the word essence, but they're imprinted with their. I don't know. Whatever makes them unique is
Their
imprinted
vibe.
on their
Their
I don't know.
souls.
Yeah,
Their
yeah,
souls,
pretty much.
Mhm.
So because
Hmm.
they started out as parts of a demon soul.
Oh, that's right.
They were part of Mephisto.
Oh, that's right.
So
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
So
It gets kind of complicated.
It's convoluted, folks. You thought that soap operas were bad. No, these are much, much worse. And next up is Titans. This is amazing. Titans number 2, and Nicola Scott. Oh my God, she's got such great artistic. She's Australian,
The artist for this
Yes, and look at her. Look at
Whoa.
Starfire. She's pretty badass.
Oh,
You know what's really cool? They
I
say
do
that
like the art in this book. Holy
I know
shit.
Nicola Scott, and she has come so far, which is weird because she was amazing before.
Mhm.
When she was doing
And she's
Earth 2,
gotten better with
she's gotten
time.
so much better. Look at this. This is
Can you hold it up?
incredible.
A couple of
No, it's mine. You get your own. Here, Starfire.
How
That
long-
thing's got to be like 10 tons, right?
How long do comics usually take to get drawn for
Like
a
a
Marvel
normal
like a for let's say for a Marvel comic. like,
Marvel
how
comics
long do they
probably
have?
a little bit actually either one figure 20 days.
20 days for a comic book.
Yeah, most guys and gals, most artists can do a page a day, and I'm sure we're going to hear it in the comments, even though I'm not here to look at them. That it's like, fuck you, Zapsik. Takes like 6 months to make one of those things. No, John Byrne was doing 3 or 4 titles a month,
wow.
but he was doing the pencils, and he would give it to an inker.
Okay,
Mhm.
So
that's still like you're.
but you're doing breakdowns, and the artist is the writer's coming in and filling in all the.
Still a shit ton of work.
That's
Absolutely.
a shit ton of work. So,
Yeah.
but this is beautiful, and it's Tom Taylor, who I am a huge fan of. I love Nightwing, and I love that Nightwing is
So
he's-
prominent in that
he is
one. Yeah.
incredibly prominent in this, and well, he should be, because he's the quintessential leader of the Titans. And that was one of the best lines I ever read in a comic book was it was bring your kid to work day. Batman brought Robin on a JLA mission.
Of course he did.
Because why wouldn't he? And so he's sitting there, and he's not that much younger than Cyborg.
Mhm.
So he's kind of holding back while the Justice League go into action in Metropolis. There's like 3 separate scenarios
Mhm.
going down, and he puts all the pieces together. And Green Lantern's busting Batman's balls. He's like, "Hey, I see your kid's up on the roof, just watching. What the hell? Is he afraid to get his hands dirty?" And Batman's sitting there kicking the shit out of somebody, and he's like, "Yeah, keep flapping your lip, Jordan. Just
watch what happens.
Just watch what happens." So Robin figures out what's going on, and he finds the linchpin of all of them, and they're all interdimensional things, and they've got different vibratory. Whatever the fuck. So
you shut down the portal, you shut them down.
Yes, exactly. So he grabs Cyborg and says, "Hey," he's like, "I might just be a,
I
I might just be a simple Gotham bumpkin here, but it occurs to me that if you shut down that portal, you shut down everything." And he goes, and Cyborg's like, "Holy shit, you're right." And he's like, "What's it like to?" And they're all sitting there. After they shut the whole thing down, they're all like going to Robin, going, "Way to go! All right." And Jordan comes over. It's like, "So what's Bruce really like when he lets his hair down?" And Robin's like, "Yeah, blah blah blah." So they're all like giving him his kudos. And at the end of the mission, Robin and Batman are like walking away, and he said, "Wow, that was really messed up." And he's like, "Well, you did well, Robin. I'm glad." And he's like, "One day, just one day." He's like, "One day what? I'll be able to join the team?" He's like, "No, Robin, haven't you been paying attention? I've been training you to lead them."
How
awesome
so
is that?
Cool.
So you're like, "Oh shit."
That's a mic drop last panel of the book kind of read.
I'm like, holy crap.
How do you, because you can't continue a read after that with something so cool.
No, it's
that's
like
awesome.
Damn it.
Fucking flying off into the sunset with the Batwing.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That is
But
cool.
speaking of Nightwing, you realize we just got closer to seeing your boy in live action. Finally,
with Flash.
Flash, Flash is doing its business at the box office,
doing its business,
but that doesn't really have too much effect on the current DCU plans. It was just announced that Andy Muschietti, the director of The Flash, is now directing Batman Brave and the Bold.
That's awesome.
Really?
So
that's
now,
fantastic.
That definitely means we're going to see our boy in live action.
Yeah.
So
yes.
So speaking of the Flash, are we done with the top 5? Are we
top
done?
5?
I don't want to cut you off. Are you done? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No. So I have a question. So I have not seen the Flash. Have you seen the Flash? You saw it three times.
I saw it 3 times
last weekend at Smodcastle Cinemas in Atlantic Highlands on First Avenue. So I saw some chatter on the internet that some of the CGI special effects, some fans are saying, sucked. And then the director came out and was like, they were supposed to suck. That was intentional suckage because we wanted to. The party line is that we wanted the audience to see what it must look like and feel like to be in the. Was it the time stream?
Like the multiverse?
What was it? The Speed Force, inside the Speed Force.
Well, they were giving you glimpses into other realities, correct?
So,
if I'm not mistaken.
I guess so.
Okay, and what I've gleaned,
apparently fans didn't think that were like, you should have gone back and finished the fucking film and done a better job on the CGI. So I mean, I haven't seen it.
Hold on, I know what you're asking, but I don't know if there's an embargo on this kind of stuff. Because I know that
it's been out. People are talking about it.
People are talking about the Christopher Reeve cameo that they did, and the Adam West.
Yeah,
and
I think they were tastefully done, in my opinion.
Okay. Well, people were gonna bitch about everything because people are.
Oh, I don't think.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. People are bitches. So
that's not what I was referring to.
No,
but,
hold on. Wait a
that's
minute.
Interesting.
But my point being that they probably and. Correct me if I'm mistaken because I haven't seen it yet. Mm-hmm. They had the special effects match the special effects at the time. Like what was You Will Believe a Man Can Fly looking at it now, when you look at Christopher Reeve's Superman, you're like, that must have hurt his groin when they pulled him up like that. So was it like that?
No, it if you were to talk to Matt Magnifico, he'll definitely vouch that it was just unpolished CGI.
Okay. All right.
But in my opinion, I actually think, well, Kevin made a valid point. He's like, I can't do CGI. So anybody who can do it, it's great. So I'm kind of in the same ballpark. I can't do CGI, but if anyone can, kudos to you. Fucking 10 points automatically.
10 points to Gryffindor?
10 points to Gryffindor. Excellent. Automatically. But I think that the stylization of it that argument does work. There's a specific way that they introduce or showcase time travel in this movie that I thought was very interesting looking. Like, I hadn't seen time travel perceived that way before.
Oh, this movie has time travel in it?
Yeah, Jules, it does.
All right, so I guess
I'm sorry. I know you can't. You're out. There you go.
I'll wait for it to come out on whatever.
No, you won't. And you'll ignore it there, too. Dear Lord.
I will.
Be honest with yourself.
Yeah, come on.
But no, like, the way that they interpreted that, I thought was cool. And if it was purposeful that it looked like that, I could see that making sense because it's not so clean images of the past
right
that he's going through.
Gotcha.
So I could see that. There are a couple of sequences where I'm like, maybe that could have used a polish here or there. Okay. But then at the same time, I'm like, you know what? It works. I still enjoyed the movie. Like, I had fun with it. Like, it didn't take me out of it.
But like I said, there are people who are just going to bitch for the sake of bitching.
And then I loved, again, Kevin makes great points when it comes to this type of stuff. Like, when people were complaining about it and, like, the cameos and stuff. And he's like, after I'm dead, just stick me in everything, man. And I'm like, you know what? Same. Fucking, I'll create like a zip pack of just video files of me against a green screen. So if anybody ever wants to put me in a future project or movie, there you go.
So you're going to do the same as Starburns. So, all right, on Community. So you did the same thing. You made things easy for Abed.
There you go. Good. So I'll be around for y'all for the future generations.
So what's that book doing there?
This is Christian has homework now.
Homework.
Christian, this is your homework. And why don't we institute that next week?
Christian's Comics College homework?
Yeah, Christian's Comics College. You're going to be reading The Authority by Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch. Brian Hitch that's the guy who does or did the artwork for Ultimate Invasion here. Mm-hmm. It's big budget. It's summer blockbuster on a page.
Now you're speaking my language.
There you go.
Okay.
You're going to see this, and they destroy stuff. They destroy that, and the
sprinkles on the
and you're going to see. You're going to meet Kazin Gamora.
So is this like the beginning of the Authority, or is this like an essential Authority story?
No, that is the beginning of the Authority. Actually, the Authority has, and I'm going to give you a little bit of drop some knowledge on you folks. The Authority started out as Stormwatch. There was Stormwatch where there's the original Stormwatch that was Jim Lee back in the day, Wildstorm, Image Comics. That was his imprint. Stormwatch was essentially S.H.I.E.L.D. with superheroes, and you had them going and kicking the crap out. It was like they were the UN Special Forces. They would go in. If a
S.H.I.E.L.D. with superheroes really describes it well.
If the UN, who funded Stormwatch, and they had an orbiting satellite, and they could beam down, it was called the Storm Door Protocol. They would beam you in, and if anybody, like any United Nation, any representative of their government asked for help, they'd ask Stormwatch. Stormwatch would beam in and kick ass for them.
Now, how do we go from Stormwatch to...
So Stormwatch was a failed experiment because we had Henry Bendix, who was the weatherman. They called him the weatherman, which I think is really cool. He was a weatherman, and he was checking out all the potential threats around the world.
I like that.
And
that's cool.
He ignored some because they not paid him, but it was in his best interests to have them ignored.
Like, stay quiet.
Yeah.
Here's a few bucks. Be quiet.
But there was also stuff like there were racist cops in like Alabama,
No.
but they had superpowers.
Oh, fuck.
So he sent Stormwatch and Stormwatch Black. There were 3 teams. There were Stormwatch. Oh God,
like they're the special ops.
like Stormwatch. I forget. Yeah, there was the Stormwatch, the first one, the first line of defense, which is they were the public, they were the perceived group who would go in. It was Winter. He was a former Spetsnaz, Russian like SEAL.
Yes.
And he went in there. I shouldn't compare SEALs and Spetsnaz. They were like their version of special forces, because SEALs are like at the top of the food chain. So that he would take his superpowered guys in there. They were for like ops with, lots of press surrounding them. Then there was Stormwatch Red, which was they went in and they caused a shit ton of havoc. They just like fucking
go to town.
Yeah. And then there was Stormwatch Black, which was Jenny Sparks, Jack Hawksmoor, and I forget her
And are
name.
these characters that get carried over into?
Some of them do get carried over into the Authority. Battalion was one of the guys. You're going to meet him, but he was not really carried over into.
You were not kidding. This is literally like a movie blockbuster.
I'm telling you,
on
it's
a page.
fantastic.
This is
Stormwatch Black is who makes these guys up.
This is dope. Oh
Yeah,
God.
they're at the forefront. So it's really badass, and you're gonna like Jack Hawksmoor. He's pretty badass.
I'm digging this already.
Yeah.
All right. I get to read The Authority, people.
And it's gonna be big in the DC CU.
So it's good to be prepared.
Cinematic universe.
I'm gonna recognize some names when
You're
they
gonna
get dropped
recognize.
in Superman.
You're gonna
Legacy.
recognize.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
you will.
recognize. I'm excited. That's gonna be a cool read. I'm already digging some of this artwork. This is
That's Brian
it is.
Hitch.
It is. You described it perfectly. It is a blockbuster on the page.
Yeah.
Because the last book I read like that was Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
And oh man, this is gonna be excellent.
You are gonna have fun.
I am excited. Thank you, Mike.
Of course.
All right, guys. I think that completes this live-ish.
No,
Does it?
wait a minute.
What do we got?
Hold on.
She's got the special
Hold on.
stuff.
Yeah. Stash special stuff. Sorry,
All right, there you
I kind of blanked out here looking at stuff about.
No,
Ted.
we're not gonna
Yeah,
talk
I said
about
time
that.
travel, and you
Ted-
checked out.
I know. I was
Jesus
like, fuck
Christ.
this shit. I was looking at some Ted Lasso stuff, which, by the way, Ted Lasso. Thank you for doing the right thing
R.I.P.
to send that out with
Hold on, she still has some stuff.
the right.
You gotta
Yes,
pull them
yes.
up. I can't.
I know.
I know, but I want to see the notes because I don't know what the hell she's
Oh,
gonna go.
yeah.
I don't
He doesn't know what I'm
where
going to
she's
say. I don't even know what I'm going to say. No. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Captain Ribman, John Sprengelmeyer, for the excellent art that he did for our brand new. You can check it out on Twitter, Stash's Twitter window about the Secret Stash Press. So it is adorable. It is cool. And it is large as hell. So if you're coming to visit us, stop and stare. If you're not able to come visit us right away, put us on your bucket list, but you can check it out online. It's really great. So it's always nice when we refresh things, and there'll be more stuff that's changing and more good stuff to see. Thanks everyone for buying tickets to our Secret Stash Press signing. Speaking of the Secret Stash Press, so we are completely sold out for all the tickets on day one and the extra tickets that we added to day two.
Sorry.
Can I say you go ahead?
No.
Finish what
We're
you're
not gonna
saying.
talk
But
about tickets.
no, I'm not talking about that. I
Okay.
wanted to talk about. I've got a surprise for people who are coming.
Oh, okay. You could talk about that in a second, but I just want to let folks know. So thank you, everybody. It's going to be a fantastic couple of days, and we're going to have the hardcovers, which are coming out in July, but we're going to get them a little bit early. July for public sale for both Masquerade and Quick Stops. So looking forward to see everyone who can join us then. And yes, you were going to say for that event, we're going to have a couple of cool things, right?
We've got Prince of the actual
Got
signing.
Prince back from the dead.
Yeah, I got Prince.
Shit.
Prince. He's
Let's
he's
get
coming.
crazy.
I'm telling you,
Let's get nuts.
Prince wants a llama in Minnesota at 4 a.m. in the middle of the winter.
You're gonna get it.
Prince is going to get it. He even has it at codicil in his will was, I want Mike Zapsik to revive me.
At this exact date and time.
I've been
right.
doing my damnedest. No, we're going to have a print of the blue line print and the full color of the signing which you saw
Mhm.
on our website.
Yep.
But I also have a very special thing that we're gonna make. It's gonna be affordable and it's gonna be cool as hell. And I showed you the picture on
right.
Saturday.
That's right.
So it's a set of stuff. So
It's so cool, people.
it is, because we're also doing something very cool that evening, which is a Clerks cartoon
Movie marathon. And where is that happening?
Smog Castle.
Cinemas.
Where the movies come to play.
That's
There we
right.
go.
And are they sold out for that?
Not yet. So
That's not
tickets are-
sold out.
Let me double check.
Oh, good
Okay,
lord!
okay, but it's getting there. It's getting there. There's a
No,
lot
I'm
going
just.
on
I'm
in
like,
the
holy
summertime.
crap!
Yeah,
'cause-
yeah. Calm
No,
down. calm
not
down,
really.
son. Yeah.
You ain't got no time.
That's going to be a great weekend, though. That's going to be it's a hell of a lot of good stuff coming on.
But you got to listen to me, because this is going to be.
July 1st, 7:00. There's still tickets, people.
I don't see why there should be, because I got some stuff. And
That's
sign.
gonna show. That's
some
gonna
stuff.
sell out.
Oh my god, it should.
Because we're showing not one, but two, but all the episodes.
Well,
I know, that's all
actually,
six.
and not only are the cartoons getting shown, which are adorable, but Brian O'Halloran and Jeff Anderson are
yep.
going to be joining Kevin
Yeah.
for the
And you
evening
might be
and
able
do
to
that.
get them to sign some stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some
Well,
stuff that
Brian
you get here.
O'Halloran at least is going to be able to be with us here on Saturday.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to join us on Sunday, but he'll be here on Saturday with us. So yeah, that's great.
Most excellent. Big old. wink.
Absolutely, and that was the big. Those were the
Yeah,
two
and I
big
wanted
things.
to tell
yeah.
people that. And this is I only made. It's a very limited, extraordinarily limited things that I'm doing, and I really can't. I'm just teasing the living crap out of it, but
Are you talking about
big.
that we're going to have
things,
available
yeah.
on the and then if we have any left over,
And
we'll
they're
have some.
getting
inexpensive.
some-
I'm like, holy crap! I might just buy some for us.
I'm like, shit. Just
What?
put some aside for
Yeah.
me.
Well, maybe we'll. I don't know. Yeah, for what we've got. I might just cut that in half and keep the rest for me and you for later on.
I have no
So-
idea what he's talking about, but
Yeah, you do.
I just smile and nod.
That's fine. You can smile and nod.
We have to go have some dinner.
Just smile and
I'm
wave,
hungry.
people.
Food.
I'm hungry. I want that big steak, man. Let's just go fly to Dallas.
We're gonna fly.
We can
You're
do
like,
that, right?
I hate Dallas.
Do we
but
know
I'm gonna fly
anyone
to
anyone
Dallas.
out there with a private jet that wants to fly us to Dallas?
Yeah,
for
any
G20?
G5s out there?
Please.
That's what they are. G5s, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
G5s.
my carbon footprint's so small, wouldn't make
I
any
could
impact
give a
whatsoever.
shit. I don't. I want to. I scorch the earth,
Hey,
motherfucker.
Chuck, fly us out. Chuck E. Cheese, come on.
That's right.
We'll do live
Hey.
from Chuck E. Cheese.
J.R. Ewing, where the fuck are you? I think I gave you a kidney, Larry Hagman.
All right, you
Got
got
it
to
in a
pack.
jar
You got to
somewhere.
pack for Brothers Weekend. We got to get out of here. Let
All
these
right.
fine folks go about their business.
Fine.
Well,
All right.
thank you guys for tuning into another episode of Live-ish from the Secret Stash. Guys, it's always a pleasure. We will see you
Absolutely.
guys next time. Take care.
Absolutely.
Hey kids, we're live at the Secret Stash with Mike, Julia, and Christian. It's the Hella Bash. Tune in and check out the podcast. We got the nerd button on repeat and we're gonna smash. Come on in, I assure you that we're open. Shoe polish on our signs cause our locks are always broken. You need that view askew? You know we got you, dude. Showing gratitude and always smiling, never rude. Top 5 movie reviews and what's new. We bringing out the big guns when we coming through. Welcome to the Stash. Come on, enjoy the cash. Hurry up.